Performance, I said he always shows up, but unfortunately there wasn't like a super standout performance to me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
think, yeah, there was nothing that was like, wow, that was
Yeah.
crazy. Everything was great and it was
I
solid,
agree there.
but it wasn't like, yeah, nothing that knocked me off my feet. What is going on? This is Rue's Reviews, where we keep it for real, for real. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid.
I'm Ify, aka Iffy.
And today we are breaking down the latest project from Melbourne-based hip-hop artist Jaal, called As It Stands. This is the latest project since they dropped their debut album back in 2023 called You Only Die Once, which was actually my 10th favorite hip-hop album of that project of that year. So definitely high hopes coming in. But let's see how they measured up, and let's start with some initial thoughts.
All right, first initial thoughts. Crazy EP. Super smooth, and it literally flew by me as well, but in the best way because it was such an easy listen. I really, really took well to his tone and sound, and that production. Wow, that's it.
Okay. I said this is another cool project from Jaal. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I do think it has some fun moments for sure. So let's get into what maybe some of those fun moments are with their pros.
Alrighty, so first pro, once again tone. The tone is sensational. Like I listen and I'm not deeping a thing he says because like, sorry to say, like I'm being seduced. Like I don't know, sorry, but in all seriousness, he holds himself so well on the track. And the calmness that he conveys is really crazy. It adds this extra layer. Second, he knows how to write a chorus. I really, really enjoyed the choruses for a lot of the tracks, mostly the first half. I think they were earworms. They got stuck in my head. I really like his pen game. And then finally, I like the versatility as well in the EP. I like when he sings. I love how he can kind of really add a bit of like R&B elements to some songs, and it doesn't feel forced. But that's also kind of a shout out to OGK who actually produced, because to be able to kind of create a beat for someone to slide like that, I think is really crazy. Fave songs are literally first three: Trust Issues, Uzi Dialed In, and then Off the Pavement. I love the production. I love the lyricism. To really hone in on one, off the pavement. Song 3, the switch up is crazy. I think that has to be my favorite song. And the deep voice before the switch up, banger. Okay, the second half, banger. He gave me really heavy Joey Badass vibes on that song.
Agreed.
I really, yeah,
Agreed.
I like that one a lot. So, done.
No, for sure. I think I literally wrote EP has a very 2010s pro era energy about it.
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely agree with that. Some of my pros: production. I think Jaal always has a great beat selection. I think his performance across the board is solid. I don't think there's anything aggressively. There's nothing bad. There's nothing bad about his performance at all. Some standout tracks. I like Trust Issues, super personal one to kick it off. Experience with the cops, stopping for no reason, something that, we can obviously all, we're all people in this room. We get it. We
get
understand.
it. Thank you.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed, even though it's not enjoyable experience, obviously, but in the song context, enjoyed the way he broke it down and all that stuff. I think the sax-led sample is smooth, performance is solid, like I said. And I did say on the topic, not, it's not overall original. However, each black person's experience with stuff like that is different, and his story is one that 1000% should be told.
Yeah.
Awareness all the time, definitely need that. So, yep. Stay in Your Bag has a pretty catchy hook. Again, solid verses. I like the beat switch up in Off the Pavement.
Yep.
Adds some nice variation. It's silky. I think over the top, but silky. And then finally on Mercy, another smooth beat switch. Second half reminded me of something that Zani would have whipped up for Offcuts.
I love that.
So yeah, and I think the second part of that a song also has a catchy hook
Yeah.
to it. I think if there was one that was my standout, it would be Trust Issues. So yeah. But
Amazing.
let's get into our cons.
I don't have any.
You have no cons?
I don't have any. Sorry, like dead ass. I'm so sorry. I won't lie. I won't lie. I won't lie. Maybe yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I really yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Fair enough. I have a couple. My continuation of the production, which I said beat selection is on point for the most part. However, there are moments in some songs where I wish the loop switched up a little bit more.
I get that.
There was more development in a certain
get that.
instrumental. There were parts where it was like, okay, yeah. I wish the
get
arrangement
that.
kind of
A lot of repetition in some
grew a
songs.
smidge, a little bit. Doesn't need to do too much, but still. Performance, I said he always shows up, but unfortunately there wasn't like a super standout performance to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
think, yeah, there was nothing that was like, wow, that was crazy. Everything was great and it was solid.
I agree there.
But it wasn't like, yeah, nothing that knocked me off my feet. Which, again, for the case of this is a solid listen, cool. But in case of like considering it, goodness grace.
My stomach.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, but in consideration for like, in comparison to other projects that we've listened to, doesn't do too much.
I get that.
And then I think finally, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Lord Apex verse on Bet That. I think it was a little messy at the start. It picked up towards the end, but the first half of the verse was a little like, yeah, a little messy is the word I might use.
Valid.
So yeah, those are my cons. But let's see what our overall rating is. Are we here for this? Depends on the day. Feeling iffy about it. Let's get into it.
Listen, if I have no cons, I'm here for it. I really do really like this EP. And I don't know, cause I think you having cons, so you might be so surprised, but this is really a top tier Oz hip hop project for me.
Wow.
When I say like I enjoyed this, I really did. It's just smooth, it's digestible, and it's really catchy. As I said, like so many hooks got so stuck in my head. But once again, the biggest thing for me was the tone. Like Jaal's tone is crazy, and he holds himself so well on a track, even when kind of conveying like some deep stuff. Like you wouldn't like he's cool, calm, collected.
Yep.
And he doesn't let a beat swallow him, which I like. Then with that, because the production is so amazing, coupled with his pen, like I think it just made a sensational listen.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm in love. Here for it.
Nice. And for me, it depends on the day. Yeah, like I said, I have nothing like aggressively wrong with this project. It's consistent. It's performance, great. Beats, great. But like I said in my cons, unfortunately nothing took it to that next level for me personally. However, I really do like Jaal. I said that top 10, like I definitely agree with that. You Only Die Once, I really enjoyed that project, and I know that Jaal can write some stuff. He's definitely up there in regards to hip hop artists in this scene. However, yeah, this one just sits at the depends for me.
That's easy.
Yeah. But always keen to hear what Jaal has next, and I hope you're keen. Depending on whether you were here for this, depends.
Okay,
Feeling iffy about it.
segue. Okay, segue.
Hey, you're gonna find little different ways to slice it up. Anyway, Jaal, as it stands, out right now. And you know what else is out right now? This episode of Rue's Review.
Oh, period.
I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid.
I'm Ify, aka Ify.
And we will catch you next time. Peace.